You know what's ironic to me? There's so many ironies and paradoxes and hypocrisies, and it's hard to focus on any one of them. Here we have Obama in Europe speaking about Ukraine with such sincerity about their borders and their national pride and their integrity. And here we have in America being overrun by millions and millions of illegal aliens, primarily Mexicans. We have an Obama administration catering to the Mexican government, signing up non-citizens for Obamacare, letting non-citizens distort and pervert our elections, voting in one corrupt Democrat after another, primarily in California, which is a secondary story. And here we have Obama going on and on about Ukraine's sovereignty and borders while letting our sovereignty and borders die. Here in California, I see a ray of hope. Yesterday, one of the top Democrats, and I mean top, Leland Yee, was arrested by the FBI. Have you seen that story, Alex?
Oh, it's incredible. We've known for years about the terrorist training camps in the hills, and now he's been arrested, supposedly connected to that. And it just shows how again, institutionally gangster these people are.
But why do you think the FBI suddenly, they've been after this for 2 years, why did they suddenly bring Leland Yee in now? What are they trying to say? Is the FBI itself ready to stand up to Eric Holder and say enough is enough? We can't take this anymore? The corruption is overwhelming? Do you think we're going to see some light in this tunnel of darkness called the American political system?
Well, I think people are looking in their children's eyes and realizing that liberty and justice brings prosperity. Tyranny brings poverty. And I totally agree. I've talked to so many FBI agents, Secret Service agents, you name it, who are appalled. And, of course, you know who they listen to. Just a fact. They tell me, Michael Savage and you, Alex. It's amazing. They're not listening to all the other people because they understand it's watered down. And look at how the FBI just removed the Southern Poverty Law Center from their list of research groups for FBI agents and police to get info from. They've now removed them.
They have? They took those scoundrels off their list?
Just happened today.
You're kidding me.
It's huge news.
That is monster news because the Southern Poverty Law Center is, in my opinion, a group of gangsters. It's a gangster organization hiding behind liberalism.
Well, that's it. I mean, they don't really do anything to deal with real racism and problems that are out there. All they do is demonize anybody who's right of Mao Zedong, and they've got a very, very sordid history of actually going out, if you research it, and stirring up and running fake radical groups.
Absolutely.
Conservatives.
Alex, this is amazing news. This comes a day after the arrest of this top Democrat in California. What is going on? Is the FBI going to finally clean up this country, do you think?
Well, look, it's true that when corruption gets so bad and you're such a prosperous country, even the establishment or parts of it are realizing that Obama and the people he represents want to break this country, just like the Cloward and Piven program. They want to bankrupt people to make them go on welfare, to make them become wards of the state. That is the plan for mass social engineering. You mentioned the illegals. There's probably 30 million of them here, getting to have their babies here paid for. All the rest of it, Mexico doesn't let us go down there and have our kids paid for and get welfare. It's a joke. And then he talks about Russia. I'm not romanticizing Putin. He's a thug in many ways. But the point is, Crimea has been part of Russia over and over again. They fought 8 wars in the last 500 years over it. And the truth is, the EU just swallowed up 90% of the country and just basically overthrew it when Ukraine didn't vote to join the EU and be sucked dry like Spain and Portugal and Greece and Italy. And so because they didn't go along with that, they sent in a bunch of extremist EU people to overthrow the government, and the Russians are simply trying to safeguard their pipelines. And now Obama wants to sit there and act like he's some war chief, going after the Russians, when I'm sorry, the Russians are incredibly corrupt, but compared to Obama, they look like the good guys. That's how much moral high ground we've lost when Obama backed the Muslim Brotherhood in Egypt, when he backed Al-Qaeda in Libya, and where he's backing Al-Qaeda now, blowing up churches and synagogues all over Syria. Look at how they're trying to break Syria in two right now. And then John Kerry says, you can't have Russia just invading countries. Russia is not invading countries. Russia has had its back pushed against the wall, just like Napoleon and Hitler did.
Well, there's an article, there's a TV piece from CNN that I found last night that made my mouth open. It was called "Ukraine's Right Sector Leader Killed," and it was a member of the right-wing militia